Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Good morning, friends.
Joe here.
And Kevin.
Yeah, I think last week's episode of Maisel, honestly, brilliant, really well told. I love the nonlinear structure of it all. Um, it really covered everything that we were like having questions about.
It was one of my favorite episodes of the series so far.
No, the whole series, yeah.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there are several with huge, beautiful set pieces in the first 3 years, especially that are complete standouts. But from a narrative storytelling perspective, it was absolutely great. I loved every second of it.
It's kind of the definition of less is more, right? Because it didn't have those big set pieces. It was just pure storytelling, and it was incredible.
Yeah, the revolution of the resolution of the way. Sorry, English hard. Of after the friars roast, with just the dais sitting around talking and telling different perspectives of what happened, answering or at least addressing so many of the questions we've had for the run of the show, as far as what was the fallout between Midge and Susie, why is Joel in the situation that he's in?
Yeah.
And Joel continues to be a hero, I think, on this show.
The best guy ever.
Start to finish. You're right. Such a beautiful show. And then in that first season, we see Joel at his lowest. First episode, right?
Yeah.
We absolutely cannot stand Joel. And they spend the rest of the series telling us
Here's why he's great.
Joel screwed up. Joel really screwed up. Here's why that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Here's why he's an okay guy. People are going to screw up.
You know what I love too is that even though they were married for so long and they had their differences, they still can remain friends and loyal to one another.
Sure.
In a different way, right? Like they said, Midge never left his side when he was in prison.
Yeah.
And even beyond that, like even in the '60s, they still have this great friendship and relationship for the sake of their kids. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The families still have dinner together, and I like that they're supportive of one another. It's really heartwarming, honestly.
It is. I mean, Joel's in prison because he was doing something completely selfless for Midge. Yeah, absolutely. And I see now that we get there why Midge is so furious with Susie.
Yeah.
It was Susie's involvement with the mafia, with the mob, that got Joel in the position that he's in.
And shout out to the show for like following through with that storyline, because when we first met Frankie and Nikki,
I think so.
That's not Jackie. Yeah, Frankie and Nikki. We just thought they were fun mobsters.
Yeah, they were by the show. They were by design. They were fun mobsters. There was not something heavy about.
I like that there's consequence.
Sure,
I like that all these storylines pay off in some way.
Right? Yeah, the show is largely about consequences, right? Yeah. Midge does not have a relationship with her kids, right? Because she chose to focus on so many other things that kept her so busy and so away from them.
Yeah.
That you fast forward 20 years, and she doesn't have a relationship with her kids. Not a real one. Not a healthy one in any way. So. Yeah, the show is really about consequences, and I'm curious to see moving forward what we do with Midge and Susie in terms of 1990. I think is when the roast was. It was after
the 90s. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So Joel was in prison for just a few years, so it was like racketeering stuff. Yeah, like 4 or 5 years, like 85 to 90. It sounds like
that's right. Yeah.
By 90 he's out. But that's all we know. We don't know how long he's really. They don't say, but they do say by 90 when the roast happens, Joel is out of prison. But I kind of want to see how effectively Midge and Susie reconcile if they do.
Want to see that really bad.
And I mean, it's a real possibility they get together to make up and one of them says the wrong thing and they start pointing, because
they could. I mean,
Midge has had that in her the whole show, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The wrong thing gets said to Midge and it is a switch. That things get cataclysmic really fast with her. And I think Susie is such a naturally defensive person that it could go that route easily.
The thing is like, well, it's 20, 30 years after the main series. You know what I mean? So does that change? Does she have some sort of moment,
Like, sure.
Which I can't believe they showed us that episode with 3 episodes, including this one left. You know what I mean? Like we have 3 episodes of the series that we're done.
Okay, kind of wrap it up. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they say that for the last episode.
Sure.
Maybe they say it for the next episode. Who knows?
Right. And I feel like now that we've gone through that episode, we're going to spend most of the rest of the time in the 60s, right? Building Midge's career.
I would think.
I would guess.
What else do they show us at this point,
But clearly I could very well be wrong, because I had no idea we were going to do an episode that was completely dedicated to everything that happened later, right?
I love the unpredictability of it all, because really it could be a whole misdirect.
Really good storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good storytelling. All right, guys. I was gone for a long weekend, so sorry, there's a lot of names here. Adam, excuse me, Anloing Search, Kaken, Robbie Riley, Lucy, Prachi Venkat, Mark Raymond, Bob Asher, EC, Arheath, Dharanendra, Thomas Walker, and Helmy. Sorry for those I got wrong, but thank you so much, guys, and welcome to our Patreon group. We're very happy you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you want to hit the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've come your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. On all shows we're watching, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we are on YouTube. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, we are completely finished watching the show over on Patreon. So if you want to finish it with us, hop over there. That's the place to do it. You're going to have to sync and watch along on your own Amazon Prime. You're only going to see and hear us for copyright purposes. Yeah. We're also watching 30 Rock right now as a Patreon exclusive, and we are into season 2. Wonderful show there. Miss the show when it's over. It's just a great show to come back to every week.
Really makes me want to watch Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, Hanka's
area. Yeah.
Yes, dear, a date. Potatoes?
Don't try to distract me with potatoes.
But you love potatoes.
I don't want to talk about potatoes.
He's definitely going to be a character on this show outside of this.
Thank God we didn't have a girl. Ignore Grandma. She's drunk.
He's gonna outrun you.
He's going to give himself a heart attack.
Thank God we didn't have a girl.
They're the worst.
The black keys on the piano smell like onions.
And
Why?
it's a used piano.
I mean,
piano. That's odd, though. Onions?
someone was playing while they were eating.
I guess so, yeah.
How would we get tickets?
Well, lucky for you, you've got someone on the inside.
How fabulous. Who?
Me.
Oh my God.
I work on the show.
So you know someone who could get us tickets.
Yes. Me.
Yeah.
Is it clicking?
I can get you tickets because I work on the show. So I'm there.
I don't know what she's saying.
Oh my God.
Wow. Is it that complicated?
Apparently.
Surely I'll think about it.
Think about what?
Oh, she wants a place to throw a party for those sad, lonely women who pay her for us. But
I'm getting you the tickets.
so they'll call.
Yes, they'll call. So skip the dance instructor?
You know absolutely nothing about love.
Thanks. I like that shot. That's really
Yeah. So he does this for a while.
Yeah, apparently. Dang. Even after she's uber rich. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Flowers
Here
is a
at
funny
Rose
touch.
Weissman's 1 + 1 = love, romance, and war.
1 + 1 = love.
Now, Kurt here was just trying to tell you to keep moving. Remember, you gotta keep moving until.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, hit your mark.
Well, you look wonderful.
Can't I just do it from up there?
That's not where your inlight is.
There's considerable amount of groaning from the crew. That seems bad.
Nope, 196 takes is completely the norm.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, for David Fincher, it is.
I'll stand there next to the camera and you can just talk to me. Stand there and tell me all about love and how to get a husband.
1 + 1 = love. Take 197, Mark.
Oh my, she wasn't kidding. It's 197 takes. Wow.
Love that intro.
That felt like a very 70s intro.
It did.
I need some tea.
Have you ever seen Vladimir
God.
Horowitz hold a toy in one hand while...
Papa!
Do you think maybe the kids end up so rough, not because of Midge, but because the grandparents raised them?
It could be the case, honestly. It's just a lot of chaos all the time.
All the time.
Both households.
Okay.
So, like I showed you last time,
It's like you showed her this before.
the book I made you, remember? All labeled and there's
Who's
pictures.
Zelda?
Yeah. It's like having her own kids.
No.
You know? Small, helpless kids.
Have they just had help their whole life?
Yes,
Like,
for sure.
Oh my God, you have to light a match? If I did this, I'd blow the entire building up.
Oh my God, you're helpless.
It's a little girl's hair.
Forgot how to stack wood in the fireplace. I'm with Janusz here.
yeah, I am too. Now, helping Esther's one thing, but still,
Right.
he's right.
Yes.
Zelda, could you get that?
No!
He's right.
Excuse me, but I feel very confident that you know how to answer the phone.
See, I say that politely.
I really appreciate your help. It's lucky you were here when this happened, huh?
Yes, so lucky. Like being a leprechaun.
In the 6 years you've been around, we have discussed shoving things down the drain at least once. Even if it was in the abstract, theoretical.
How about just tell him not to do it?
Yeah.
And let's move on.
He's got it now. There you go.
The thing. Parents come and stare at the kids. The teachers point out their seats. You get a snack. Someone wets their pants.
You're a terrible salesman.
She needs help.
But I'm warning you, the first person to wet their pants, I'm out of there. Unless it's a really good snack.
Does anyone know a good tile man?
Midge, we're mocking Adam here.
Sorry.
One of these days, you're going to have to decide, are you in or are you out?
I mean, really?
As many of you know, I am now officially the new producer of the Gordon.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Though the departure of George Toledano was abrupt and upsetting to some of you.
To some of you.
No, I'm done.
What? No, you called us to the railings. We're at the railings. Last thing I heard was, cool head.
Gordon's got him there.
I'm
A little over your head.
I'm here
your head,
for
yeah.
anyone who needs.
It's all capsized so
Yeah, it
fast.
did.
But now it's up here. It's actually still a little bit down there too, since
Just say you're easy to find. You got this.
I have this receipt from dinner last night. Do I give that to you?
I'm leaving now.
Wait, official new producer. Can we leave too?
It was a good time.
I like Mike a lot.
I do too.
Crunchy and creamy and nutty. Just a terrific combination.
Reading group reads a book a week. Then they write a play dramatizing it, and
Trying to play.
That's pretty awesome.
it's all in the name of science. Now, over here we have our language group. They're
He seems overwhelmed.
He does, doesn't he? They're reading in French.
that's the happy group.
I'm sorry, what?
The happy group.
But what do they excel in?
The
Nothing.
Happiness. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're basically a fully functioning summer stock company. And that table, the one my grandson is at, is just...
happy.
They're 6. Calm down.
Yeah. He's going to be concerned he's not advanced enough.
Yeah.
He's walking in a circle. That's it.
Mr. Weissman, Ethan is a sweet, healthy young man who also happens to be happy.
Oh my God.
Next year, now.
Mr. Weissman.
I was a tenured professor.
Abe.
There is no possible way he's happy.
God.
You won't be at the end of this. That's
Yeah.
Tale of Two Cities sold over 100 million copies, so I gotta sell 101. I must kill.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Outsell Dickens.
Yeah. Good luck, pal.
Kennedy just established the Peace Corps. Now boring kids can be popular too. Next.
Yeah.
Bobby gets a boyfriend, Ken. I don't think it's gonna last. He seems a little fake.
Ooh. Yeah. That's terrible.
Every time you make an appearance on a talk show, you do jokes.
I'm a comedian. If I came on and pulled Gordon's wisdom tooth, it'd be weird.
Now you want people to read a book about your life. Why not talk about your life? Talk about your parents.
Sure. Where's the funny?
It's interesting.
I think she's right.
Yeah, probably.
Channel your drunk Uncle Marvin. Get me those laughs. Take me to your leader.
Well, his writers are terrible.
They are bad.
On the math, English, science, logic.
But he did spell his name correctly this time, which is a big improvement over the last test.
He's 6. He's 6 years old.
We threw this new test at him out of the blue. He probably panicked. Plus, we took his wand away. That couldn't have helped.
He's a Weissman.
Took his wand away.
Except he's not good in math, science, English, or logic. Or days of the week.
So help him with his schoolwork.
Grandpa, glitter sticks to your face.
Yes, it does.
He hasn't lost his spot in the happy group.
Help him with his schoolwork. You know,
Yeah,
just
just-
stop playing the piano. And
Just help him with his work.
reading and
Well,
writing.
the piano, still do the piano, but help him with the schoolwork.
Less focus is kind of what I meant. Yeah.
Well, the house is pure chaos. Maybe less of that.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that can't be helping.
Right.
Hey,
Fair.
show's starting, Shirley.
Will you
Yeah.
wait? I made Danny a sandwich. Give it to him.
No.
He's not going to eat that.
All right. Camera work again here.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to be back. I love what you've done with the place.
I've done absolutely nothing with the place.
Well, it works. Absolutely nothing works for you. Well, it's very quiet, peaceful. You don't need pants, so that's a plus.
You know,
Just like you.
They had everything: typhoid, pneumonia, malaria. They were so sick, the immigration agent changed their name to... I can't go by that name in show business. Too Jewish.
Oh, my God.
All the trials and tribulations, the only time I ever saw my mother cry was the day I told her I was going to be a comedian.
Yeah, that's solid. This is solid
This is
stuff.
good, yeah. All right, good for Midge.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman!
Yeah.
He's talking about me.
I certainly hope so.
Midge, get over here.
Good camera work again.
Oh, yeah. Good whip hands.
Just find the spot, Al.
Yep.
Any spot.
Is this going to be an opportunity coming up here?
Yeah, look at that. Cozy right up.
Yeah.
She will have whatever Shirley Temple drank right after Judy Garland got the Wizard of Oz.
That's a great bit.
Yeah.
You're America Vespucci, Sir Walter Raleigh, Amelia Earhart, if she'd made it.
You were in the writer's room.
She said, tell your family story.
When were you in the writer's room?
She told me if it's interesting, you'll find the funny.
Really let me in the writer's room.
Just doing my job.
Is this going to be a bit of
I'm stealing you.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of feels like it, yeah.
I was wondering if you would like to come work for me.
What?
What? You can pick your job. Also, you're a woman. These are shows starring women. Who better to write for?
Danny, what are you doing?
Disagree with him.
This is a good job. She makes good money here.
She'll make better money with me.
Oh, really? How do you know?
Because I'll ask her how much she makes here, and then I'll give her more.
Talent. I don't think it's her talent you want.
Gordon.
That took a turn.
Yeah, Gordon's got a dark side.
Yeah.
Do it, Toots. Last time you threw your back out for a month.
That was a pre-existing condition.
That's a big guy.
Pre-existing condition. Yeah, I don't know this with Gordon, but he's really got he's got a temper, doesn't he?
Jumping back to the 50s.
There we go.
Oh, okay. I would not drink that. No.
The ink in the bottom of that glass.
Pencil shaving. So
yeah.
I can't talk to my own kid?
Of course you can. Once he turns 6.
This is stupid.
Miriam can do it. Or if it's really important, you can leave a note.
Abe, this sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I completely ignored Noah for 5 years. The morning of his 6th birthday, he picked up a violin.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to the family, Joel. Now, drink up before Herman sniffs us.
Be emotionally withholding.
Yeah.
And you'll have great
advice,
kids.
Abe.
Yeah.
Astrid, are you hearing this?
No, I haven't heard anything you said for the last 2 months. What color are you gonna get?
Well, then why would you get a new toilet?
Because I have to get a new bathtub.
So?
They won't match.
Does that matter? Can you pass the locks?
I'm with you, Noah. Yeah.
They say he has the potential for nothing but happiness.
Like that's such a bad thing. Yeah.
Not one person who's ever accomplished anything of worth in life has ever been happy.
Oh my God. I like this because she's not happy, really. Either.
Yeah.
Your son flunked his aptitude test. I saw the score.
Is 6 years old.
We are going home to call the phone company to come take our phone. We don't want it anymore!
Good for her. Yeah.
What did you do to your son?
What are you talking about?
Have you been talking to him?
Oh my God.
Tell me.
Of course I've been talking to him. You've seen me talk to him. He's my son.
I told you.
Oh my God.
You were serious?
Of course I was serious. Why wouldn't I be serious?
Because that's nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a late bloomer. Maybe he'll get miserable later.
6.
Oh my God.
Get miserable later.
This is the last time I want to hear anybody say anything bad about my son's happiness. Am I clear? Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's
We've seen him as an adult, and I like Ethan as an adult.
Yeah, he seems like he got there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm leaving this. I'm getting away from these people.
What about Gordon's show?
You know the rule.
That was George's rule. George is gone.
It's not just George's rule, it's also Gordon's.
Yeah, I thought Jordan was in on it too, yeah.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Oh, we're going back to the club. Okay.
We think it's a cat. You think?
Well, it's fast.
And she's still performing here?
I don't know why she would.
Yeah.
I really thought we were done with this. Honestly.
So did I.
He's a child, Pa. He's a legend. Let Pa break you.
I wonder if we actually get to see Jack Parr.
Yeah.
Who's going to play Parr?
You go on Pa first. Gordon's going to be so pissed.
Yeah, he is.
Think of how fun that'll be.
She's going to end up working for Hank Azaria, isn't she?
I think so. I hope so. I mean, it's better money and...
Yeah. If Gordon gets upset enough, yeah.
Why are you getting a raise?
Oh, hi. What?
You're getting a raise. Why?
Am I?
Yes.
Says who?
The raise fairy.
Oh.
Raise fairy.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
It's a big one, too. You've been making as much as the men.
Jiminy crickets.
More than one of them.
If this gets out, every working woman will want to get paid just as much as a man to do the exact same job.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad for that
Yeah,
either.
that's upset.
I was just wondering,
His butt all the
why
time.
did I get a
dude.
raise?
Like,
You know why?
No, I don't.
Because she was, yeah, it was an off, yeah.
Danny Stevens tried to poach you, so I had to bid against him to keep you. That's how business works.
Right.
You know, I don't think he was hitting on me. I know when men are hitting on me.
Oh, he was.
You are not a woman.
You are not a man.
Yeah.
He's a smooth operator. He probably didn't pick up on it.
Right. Probably because it didn't happen.
It happened, okay?
It didn't, but sure. Whatever you say.
Let it go. Why are you fighting over this?
because she's Midge.
Want to book me first? Beat him to the punch? No? Yes? Maybe?
He's having a bad day, and you're hitting him with a lot here.
What was not to be happy about? They coughed, they talked, they ordered drinks. It was like Sunday night bingo without the door prize.
Tonight is about Midge.
But
I am not discussing James.
Good for Susie.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You should book him. James is great. I've seen him work. He'll be good for the show.
Good for Midge.
Yeah.
Miriam, let me handle
No,
this.
Susie. Don't hurt James. Don't do
Yeah.
that. I'm good.
Good for her. That's big of her.
It really is.
You are a class act, Midge Maisel. I will
And
give
you
you
are.
that.
Well, that's something, right?
I hate this guy.
Thank you for the opportunity, Pete. Really. Hope to be able to say I told you so one day.
You
I
will.
think she will. Yeah. I hate that's the politics around it though. Is
Yeah.
that nobody's talking about her. They're talking about
That's
James.
it, yeah.
And that's what it is. You know.
7 months ago, I was working for wings and fries at that chicken place, and now I'm in a movie, and I'm gonna be on Jack Parr.
Good for you.
James.
Book me or I'll find someone else who will.
I'm kind of wondering if he's still big in the future.
Yeah. We've seen that before. These big rises, and
Yeah.
nothing happens
Right.
after that. You know.
Where's Jason Biggs these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
You can just pay your mom a salary, straight from you to her. It'd be more than she's making now. Susie, back me up here.
So she's fronting her mom's failing business.
Yeah.
We will continue to tell her business is great, and we will make as many commercials as she wants, because that's all I can do for her in the brief time she's got left.
Oh.
Well, she's sick.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's a great idea, Mama.
That's really sweet of her.
Yeah.
She's taking a lot on
That
herself
makes me
there.
really sad.
Yeah.
So I can't have my event here? I'm gonna have to rent a hall, I'm gonna have to spend my own money, and it's gonna cost a fortune.
That's what. That
Walk away. Yeah.
It only means something to me.
He is so frustrating sometimes.
I know. I
The
literally, as
selfishness.
soon as she said it, I was like, "Oh my god."
The selfishness of Rose. Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for Midge.
I do too. I felt bad for her at the club.
This episode's really interesting because of the juxtaposition of both the future and the past.
Yeah.
Like, we get that really nice moment in the 70s, and then we cut back to this, and we're reminded of the reality of it all.
Right.
The earth is exploding. Did you hear?
No, it's not. Something just fell. It's okay. Go back to bed.
Just exploding.
Yeah. Is Abe going to be a hero or is Abe going to be a heel?
Miriam, are you all right?
Because I feel like it could go either way the way this episode's gone.
Yeah, I hope he's a hero. I really do.
Yeah. Is that Abe?
Is that Ethan? Did he figure it
Maybe
out?
Ethan.
So maybe it's Esther.
It would be cool with me. Oh, because he takes an interest in Esther's academics. It probably is Esther. It's not the firstborn male son in this case. It's going to be the female.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, kid.
I don't know if they're doing camera tricks or what, but it looks like this girl's playing this.
Yeah, I'm watching the hand.
Yeah.
It really does look like the kid's playing. Yeah. Delightful.
Yeah.
Delightful. I really love that.
I did too.
This was there's a lot going on. I mean, even though we covered what's going to happen in the future the last episode, there's still a lot to pick at here.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I feel like the grandparents were a big standout this episode, obviously.
They were, yeah, right.
And, you know, we love them. We love Rose. We love Abe. It's just that they are so freaking frustrating sometimes, you know?
Yeah, of the four, the one I consistently end up kind of
being down on is
just like getting really frustrated with this. It's always Rose.
Yeah.
And at different points as each of them, for sure, because that's how people are, and these people are cranked up to
The
11
Catskills,
all the
we were
time.
like, it was the
It was
Maisels.
Moisha, for sure, in the Catskills, right? And Abe had his moments even in this episode where it's like, come on, Abe. But the one that seems to really just hit the notes wrong, like as an empathetic person, is usually Rose.
Yeah.
And this is no different. Everything is all about her exclusively.
It's almost like, is it a lack of self-awareness, or is it just she? It can't be good that she doesn't care. It's just
No, it's not that she doesn't care. She doesn't know.
Exactly. There's a lack of awareness there, and it's like a privileged life they live. And we're reminded of that with the whole Zelda situation.
I was about to say,
right?
with the Zelda situation is a really nice way to show, by the way, these people have, from the time they were born until old age, have been privileged all the way.
Oh,
and that has never changed. Even when they're destitute, they were completely in denial about it, right?
Yeah.
They were living with the Maisels and complaining about it the whole time.
Well, think
right?
about France. In France, she was like, "Oh, we can just buy this apartment." Maybe
We'll buy this apartment and move. And it's like,
I need money.
Right. My jobs are both in New York. We can't stay. And she went back very upset. And that was an empathetic time because you get it. Her husband was ignoring her.
Yeah.
But man,
this
is different. And when you have the moments to where she needs to be gracious, she fails every time.
Yeah.
This is a moment where we need Rose to step up as a parent, as a wife, as a grandparent, as whatever. This is the moment she needs to step up, and she never does when you absolutely need her to. She loves her daughter, she loves her husband, she loves her grandkids, but everything, and Midge said it in this episode, everything else is secondary to what Rose wants. And she said it when she was talking about her business, right?
Yeah.
She does not love anybody in her life as much as she loves this thing she's doing.
Yeah.
And God, did we ever get that sense of like, here's why she said that, right?
True.
Midge, really went through it tonight and was incredibly gracious doing it. And she was stronger than I probably would have been in that moment,
I mean,
she put her own anger aside to help James out.
Which James, by the way, just got an attitude.
James is it doesn't seem to take much for some people to go from I don't have anything to why don't I have more? You know what I mean? Like
his first movie's not even out yet.
His first movie's not out yet, and his sense of entitlement is kicking in a little bit.
A meteoric rise, I guess it's easy to go to your head, especially if you've been struggling for so long. Enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. Like, hey, Jack Parr wants you, but I don't want you to do it. Okay, well, you're gonna have to give me a good reason, and she can't. Her reason is I want Midge to do it instead.
The movie could suck.
Sure.
That's the one. That's the one reason I'm like, well, maybe just do the show because once the movie sucks, your career doesn't take off.
Right.
You know what I mean? So enjoy it while it lasts. But she's right. I mean, Susie, as we know in the show, she's got great instincts for talent.
Right.
I like that her and Mike are actually starting to bond.
Well, he wouldn't have it. Yeah, he wouldn't have any of this if Susie didn't find him. I mean,
sure.
With help, but Susie basically discovered this guy and got him on his path.
Same for Mike too, really.
Right.
She gave him a little nudge up.
Right.
I love Susie's character. She's probably the one you can root for the most right now. Her and Joel.
Sure.
Even though the Susie thing, I mean, obviously winds Joel up in prison, so she's definitely got some faults.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
There have been times in the last 2 seasons where Midge was making me pull my hair out, for sure.
This show does so well. It's like you're constantly up and down on certain characters, but you never hate them.
No, none of them. I don't hate any of the
Even
characters.
Sophie Lennon, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously she's just she's unlikable for sure, but like every time she's on screen, we love it.
Yeah, we love to see her. Right. I wouldn't mind seeing her back this season. We probably won't at this point with 2 episodes left.
Probably not. It'd be a brief cameo then, probably.
Sure, because there's enough to wrap up.
Yeah.
With 2 episodes, a lot. We do know. So in the 80s where we've seen Esther and we've seen Ethan, we know that Rose is gone. She's mentioned it before that Rose is gone, and now we see that she's gone in the 70s. It sounds like she's pretty sick, so she's been gone for a while,
which is sad. It's really sad.
For sure. We don't know about Abe, no, right? No one said
we saw him in the 70s when she was getting married again.
Right,
but we're not sure.
Sure, but we right, but in the 80s when Ethan's getting married and Esther's kind of going through therapy and all that. We don't really know in the current time period.
Esther did talk about Abe though.
She did talk about Abe, but we don't know if he's alive or not.
Sure.
And we obviously don't know what's going on with the Maisels because the only one we really pay attention to is Joel. So we don't know 20 years down the road, what's going on with them. Maybe all 4 of them are gone. And we're kind of left with a contemporary Midge without any of that support.
Yeah.
Although let's face it, I'm not really sure support's the right word, as we kind of saw from Rose. There seems to be a glaring black hole of support.
It's support in a very strange way.
Well, there's no support for Rose. Rose is, why aren't you freaking out about what's making me unhappy right now? I don't care about your life.
She quite literally is supporting both of them. I mean, like, they're living in her house.
Yeah.
You know? And then even in the 70s, she's paying for her business. So, like, the support is, she is supporting them.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah. Rose seems to be living in a fantasy world as far as, I get that she wants to be important, and that she wants to be doing something.
Well, we see where she comes from. She's lived a very rich life. Right. Her whole life, and it's when push comes to shove, I guess you can't be a real person if you've lived that comfortably your whole life. I mean,
I don't know. Midge does a pretty good job of it. She's been comfortable her whole life. She's a lot more empathetic and sympathetic than Rose is.
I guess so, but even she has her moments where it's why is this not happening for me?
Right.
But she's much more down to earth, I guess.
Well, I mean, she's had her entitled moments for sure, but I mean, this episode, she was awfully selfless for James, a guy that she doesn't really care about.
Also, she might just be smarter.
Sure.
I mean, like, she's much more savvy than Rose is, I think. I'm not saying Rose is dumb or anything.
I kind of feel like Rose is dumb. I feel like Rose has a classical education when it comes to, like, I'm sure that she's fantastic with French literature, but
when it comes to actually interacting with people,
she couldn't light a pilot light on her stove, which is turning on the gas and sticking a match up to it.
That is pretty. I forgot that happened.
I think the privilege that they've grown up with has made them. What's his name? Janusz has said these are kind of worthless people, and I know that's harsh because no people are worthless, but at the same time, it's like they really are helpless.
Well, what are they giving back to society?
And I don't even care about that. They can't function on their own.
I'm just saying, like,
right?
What do you bring to the table here? Like
trying to, but Rose getting people married again. I don't want to belittle what anybody does or what they do with their lives. I think it's great that Rose wants to do this, but it clearly isn't working.
No.
And she's clearly neglecting other things in her life.
No, absolutely.
And she's putting a lot of it on her daughter to make it all better, which I think
is not fair.
Not fair, right? I don't know. Are we being too harsh on Rose? Let us know, because I'm having a hard time sympathizing with Rose right now.
I don't think we are, and a lot of folks tend to agree with us on Patreon. And like I said, we don't hate Rose. We like her character.
No, we don't. Yeah,
she definitely has her moments.
Right.
It's just, I think it's intentional to show the frustration, right? Like, we're not going to write Rose off as a character. We're not going to sit here and say she's terrible. She's not Betty Draper from Mad Men or anything.
I think I don't have a problem with Betty. I think she's worse.
That's what I'm saying.
I think she's worse than Betty. I think she's worse than Betty. Betty at least acknowledges her kids exist.
Fair.
She doesn't go to her kids and say, fix everything in my life right now. I think I like Betty Draper more than I like Rose.
Wow.
I've come around on Betty. Betty was a terrible mother when her kids were little, but that's because she had an awful husband. I get all of that. Sure. I've come way around on Betty. I think she's really trying to be better. I don't think Rose, who is 50 now, when we see her in the 70s, has spent 4 minutes of her life trying to be a better person. I don't think so.
She's definitely 50 too, which is crazy.
I don't think she spent a second trying to improve herself, which is Betty has done.
That's actually really dark then.
It is.
If she lived literally her whole life just like that,
right.
Which is, you're not going to change somebody when they're 50, right?
Right. Well, when I go back to season 1 when the show started, right, and Midge is going through it, and her husband leaves her, right, which is terrible, especially in a position where she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have any prospects, she has 2 kids, you don't know what Joel's role's going to be in taking care of him, or she doesn't know she's going to lose the apartment.
Yeah.
With all of that going on, Rose, her whole form and function was, well, you better find another man, because she didn't care how Midge felt about any of it. Yeah. She didn't care about Midge. She cared about, oh my God, you better find something. Status, yeah. She lied about it. She's lying about the apartment.
Yeah.
And you're kind of so you're watching that early, and you're like, okay, at some point Rose is going to come around and be like, I really should be a parent instead. And then we see her in 1973, and it never happened. It never happened.
You're kind
of
selling me on this, actually.
Yeah,
yep. We really are.
We just never see it.
We don't.
We say, because you want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. It's a great character, and you want to be like, well, there are times when we're not so down on Rose. And it's like, when?
Yeah.
When has Rose been selfless?
Really, season 2 was the only time we were like, okay, Rose is in the right.
I felt bad for her.
Yeah. But never in a position where it's like, okay, she takes the moral high road or whatever. But
no,
she's always in the wrong. for the most part.
I mean, like, I get that, when Abe abandoned her and she decided she needed to leave, I was with her. When she was, like, being aloof and just torturing them in Paris, like, I'm never coming back. Not only that, I'm just going to talk to my dog the whole time while you guys are trying to have a conversation with me and ignore everything you say and be really passive-aggressive. And I was like, I'm slipping on Rose ever getting there.
Yeah.
And now here we are at the end of the show, and she never got there. Am reminded here again, and Midge says the same thing in the episode. She never got there. She never became a mother. Took the blinders off and became a parent. She never did it. She still needs her maid to come over and do everything for her, even though she doesn't even work there anymore. She tells her to answer her phone for her when she's over for a visit.
That's crazy.
God, that's nuts, right?
And you know what? Shout out to the showrunners for keeping the character consistent throughout the whole run.
For sure.
Which is brilliant. But also, I think...
No, it's great writing.
I think the payoff, which I was assuming it was going to be Rose has a moment at the end, everybody, la-di-da, happy ending. You know what I mean? What I think it's going to do is inform Midge on how to parent, basically, especially in her later years with the kids. You know?
The fact that Midge is ready to forgive Susie, in 1990, the most recent we get in the show, that is bigger than anything Rose has ever done.
Huge
on the show.
No, truly, it really is.
Yeah,
and I also think Joel being out of prison probably helps.
Sure,
my husband's safe now. Okay,
right.
now I can now we can make amends. But you're right. No, like the fact that she is willing to reach out in a nice way and not be reluctant,
and that is something 10 times bigger than I've seen Rose do. This thing today, or on this episode today, right, with James, that is 10 times more gracious than anything Rose has done on the entire show.
Even her keeping Rose's business afloat while she's going bankrupt is better than anything Rose ever did to you.
Yeah, Rose. So, there are levels of sacrifice that Midge makes. You do have to say, like, if we're being honest here, we were talking about how cyclical this is. Like, they'll look at Esther, who can't stand her mom.
Yeah.
I think that, in my humble opinion, Midge is a significantly more rounded, empathetic, genuine person than Rose has been. I think that Midge is a vast improvement on her mother. I really do.
Look, we all have hopes, wants, and dreams, right?
Right.
But like having kids, you got to make sacrifices, and I think we're seeing that maybe
Rose hasn't done it.
She hasn't done it, but I think Midge also might put her eggs in a different basket sometimes.
Sure.
In terms of like her kids and her career.
Right.
Obviously, they're estranged. I really hope it ends with her not making those choices. I really hope it ends with her being there for her kids, no matter how later in life it is. Her kids are obviously adults.
Right.
A huge stretch of their childhood, they probably missed out on her, right?
Definitely. I think that's the issue, right?
Let's hope they can fix that in later years.
Again, and we said it earlier, I kind of feel like the problem may not necessarily be that Midge was not a good mother. It's that she was an absentee mother, and these kids are the product of Abe,
Rose,
Moisha, and I don't think it's great.
And they're all so neurotic.
Exactly.
Like Abe. Okay, so Rose obviously was a tough hang this episode. Abe is what gets me sometimes. I'm like, Abe, you're stressing me out, dude. You gotta chill.
I mean, at least he was noticed that Midge was upset.
Yeah,
which is something
he does notice that. At least several episodes where they just had moments together.
Right. We've not had that with her.
No.
We've not had that with Rose. This was nobody cares but me about what's going on in my life when Midge is having a real crisis. And it was just so frustrating to watch by design. Like, that's what the showrunners are giving us.
Did you ever read or watch Ordinary People?
No.
Okay. Well, the book was fantastic, by the way. Anyways, but she really does remind me of the mother in that movie. She just can't be a mother. She has her own image to protect almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rose's agenda is Rose. And I don't know. Maybe it's, we all bring our own stuff to what we watch, to art, right?
Sure.
We all feel differently about it. It's like based on your relationship with your mom or your dad or your siblings or your own upbringing.
That's us.
That's how people are.
Yeah.
And seeing this version of Rose throughout her life is just incredibly frustrating for me.
What's really interesting though is that the show about a female comedian on her and her rise, how much the show is really about the relationships with the family.
Right.
How that's what the show is. It's you become your parents eventually.
Seriously, it's tough.
It's brilliant. I can't believe we're getting into the psychology of this show.
I mean, it's great writing.
It's fantastic writing.
They showed us how awful Rose is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
With the 1970s, just do the commercial, right? Put Abe in the school. Let's really see. Where is the bad wiring in Midge and where does it come from? We got to look at that today and be like, yeah, Yeah, I think if Rose was my mom, I'd have some issues too.
They say ignorance is bliss, right?
Right. All right, we'll catch you next, guys. Man,
See
we
ya.
talked a long time.